What a crazy wild card round we had. A lot of interesting games we had go on in the wild card game between a lot of different teams, and it's just something we gotta talk about. Let's get right into it. So let's start off with this Cleveland Tampa Bay series. Really good, interesting games. Really good pitching for both teams, honestly. Maybe we've only had 4 runs scored the whole series. So it was 2-1 and then 1-0. Cleveland ended up winning 2-0 throughout the whole series. And yeah, it really just came down to good pitching from Bieber and really good, I guess, situational hitting from the Indians with Oscar and, Ramirez hitting the home runs and, getting on base. So it's kind of what that series came down to, a really good pitching battle. So I'm not really surprised Cleveland won it all. I kind of had them going through in my bracket, but really interesting series, and it's probably one of the lower scoring series we're gonna have in the whole playoffs. Now, the shocking statement the Phillies have made is honestly insane. I really did not think they had a shot to even beat the Cardinals, but the top of the 9th of the first game absolutely shattered that. 6-3 they won that game, losing 2-0 going into the 8th inning, able to come back and win 6-3. Really impressive they were held on and actually get the bats going. Second game, good 2-run home run for Bryce Harper, and really good pitching for the Phillies. So with the team with the worst ranked bullpen in the league, pretty impressive that they were able to beat a pretty good hitting core that the Cardinals have set up. And yeah, that's pretty embarrassing if I'm the Cardinals. I don't know how you improve on that season. Seattle has defied all the odds in this postseason, coming in, scoring 14 runs in 2 games, pitching incredible in that first game, and then playing pretty well to keep up with the Toronto Blue Jays in the second game. You're down 8-1 and you come back and win is absolutely insane. That is something that should never happen. And yeah, I don't know how the Blue Jays allowed that. I don't really know what they were thinking over there with the pitches they were throwing. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, the Seattle played, you know what I'm saying? And they deserve to go into that next round against Houston. It should be a very interesting series since they're division rivals. So the San Diego Padres actually come out and really surprised me to win this series 2-1. Really good hitting in the first and third game of this series, and really good pitching in those 2 games. The second game, not the best pitching, obviously. But yeah, really interesting that the Mets still somehow did learn how to choke. I don't know how that's possible. You win 100 games, how they not get past the first round? Doesn't really make sense to me. And you're home, by the way. That's pretty bad. And you have the 2 best pitchers in the league. That's also pretty bad. So yeah, I don't know how they get better with $225 million into the team. Yeah, pretty embarrassing. So let's go on the next series. Let's go on the NLDS. Now that the wildcard games are over and those bad teams are all out, we can go on to the actual series that actually matters. So here we go. We'll start for the first one, the Phillies versus Atlanta. So yeah, the Phillies, I'm surprised they even got here, to be honest. I mean, that's incredible they're even here. They're going against the Atlanta Braves, probably the best team in the league right now besides the Dodgers. So yeah, I'm going to take Atlanta here, obviously. I think they're going to win. I just think it's really surprising if they're able to pitch really well against this hitting core. I mean, I think I'm going to keep denying them, and they probably will still win. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think I'm going to go Atlanta probably in 4 games, I think. They'll be able to win that one. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. The Phillies, divide the all odds against the Cards. Maybe they do it again. Seattle and Houston, I think, is a really interesting series. Division rivals obviously played each other the whole season. They played 19 games between each other. So really interesting to see because these teams very well know each other. They obviously know the pitchers that each team has, the hitters, all that good stuff. So I think this is going to be a really interesting series. I think it's actually going to go all 5 games. I think if the Seattle plays like they did against the Blue Jays, this is going to go all 5 games. But I do think I'm going to take Houston over this one. I do think they are definitely a better team, especially when they get in those key situations. So I guess we'll see. Who knows how the hitting core from Seattle will perform as well as that pitching. But yeah, I think I got to take Houston in 5. All right, let's go on to Cleveland and New York. So New York is actually an interesting team this season. They can hit when they want to, and they can pitch when they want to. So we'll see if they actually show up in this game, or this series at least. But Cleveland, I definitely the underdogs in this series. I don't know if you guys remember the controversy they had later or earlier in the year when I think it was Stephen Kwan that went up on the fence and was talking mad trash to the Yankee fans, which is kind of crazy. So back to that rivalry this year. So we'll see how this does in the postseason, at least in New York. So I think, in my opinion, I'm taking Cleveland in 5. I don't trust the Yankees pitching staff at all. They have Garrett Cole going game 1, so we know he's going to blow that game, just like the wild card last year. And then they're going to have Cortez probably game 2 or 3. Then they're a good pitcher. Maybe they lose those, come back. I don't know. I still think Cleveland's going to find a way to get it done. But Shane Bieber's pitching game 2, so probably goes 1-1 right there now I think about it. So I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see on this one. I just think Cleveland has a really good shot to beat this team and upset a lot of people. I think they're going to do a really good job pitching around some of the Yankees' key hitters like Judge. You throw him the slider outside and he can't hit the ball. So, it's not that hard to get him out. We've seen multiple times good ways to strike him out, but you just can't make a mistake. So I think Cleveland's got that in 5, in my opinion. Now, this is a series I have no idea how to call. LA versus San Diego. I was very high on this Dodgers team, But after watching San Diego play with a lot of guys that we didn't really expect, I don't think most people expect Trent Grisham to be that good, even though I did. I've been on that guy since 21, so I kind of knew he was going to perform in the postseason. That's how he gets paid. But yeah, be a really interesting series. I mean, both these teams got really good pitching staffs. They got really good hitting cores. I don't know. I'm kind of baffled. I'm even going to say this, but I think I'm going to take LA in 5. You know, I think they're going to be the better team, and I think they've got the best most of the season when they were playing with each other, if I had to take a guess. So I think I'm going to take LA in 5. I think it's going to be a really interesting series. And yeah, we'll got to see how that pitching core goes for LA. Obviously, they're not, you know, I think the hitting is probably the strongest asset on this team. The pitching we're still kind of iffy on. But yeah, I think I got to take LA in 5. Even though San Diego is really good, they're right behind there. I mean, we'll see if they can take them down. This would be the ultimate goal of San Diego to take down LA. Be a really interesting World Series, or, you know, last couple of series in my opinion. So that's kind of my wild card review and my next predictions for the round. The wild card games were actually really fun to watch. I watched most of the Cleveland one. That was really interesting to watch. The Phillies, I watched the first game. I didn't really watch the second one. I'm watching Toronto choke was pretty fun. And then the Mets always choking is just hilarious to watch. So that was pretty fun for the wild card round. I really thought there were a lot of upsets. I only predicted the Cleveland one right, so I guess I got a lot of stuff wrong. So we'll see if my next predictions are right. Hopefully they are. I mean, I got better teams. I can actually trust in these teams, I feel like, unlike the teams I picked maybe on that one. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, for these wild card teams, they got to get better. The Rays still don't know how to control a pitching staff. The Cardinals, who even knows what they do. The Blue Jays still can't pitch, so hopefully they get some pitchers in the offseason. And the Mets, I mean, I don't know how much money, more money you can dump into that team, to be honest. You're at $225 million, you still can't win a 3-game series, so I don't know what's going on with the Mets over there, if I'm going to be completely honest. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with all these teams going forward in the offseason and the draft. But it's on to the last top 8 teams now got a shot to win. We'll see what World Series happens. I think there's going to be a lot of upsets if we're looking at that first round. Maybe I could be wrong, but personally, I would love to see the Phillies, Seattle, Cleveland, and San Diego win. If I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I'd love to see new teams in the postseason. So seeing the Phillies here has already made me happy. Same with Seattle and San Diego. So we'll see what happens with this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.